Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And that is the point of this video, because Tennessee just took some steps which kicked the gun controllers right in the teeth, shows them the entire world is falling apart, and more importantly, reinforces the idea that we are winning in the right direction. Stay the course, keep passing the blessing on to the next generation, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on if you are down with that mission, because we are about to dive into an example of just such an event. Now, of course, everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and let's get it, because this is damning against the gun control move everywhere. Tennessee lawmakers passed bill to allow armed teachers a year after a deadly Nashville shooting. Now, the reason that this is such a kick in the teeth to these guys is Nashville is the same place where they made this big historic stand to get red flag laws and gun control in Tennessee. Deep red Tennessee's had enough. Well, it turns out that the Tennessee Three have faded, gun control never happened, red flag laws never came to fruition, and in fact, a year later, the Tennessee representatives in the legislature are going the exact opposite direction of reinforcing gun laws and gun rights to help save people, just like we've seen a constitutional carry in 29 states, just like we've seen with more guns than have ever been bought before, and the crime rates are going downward. Just saying, let me show you this, because this right here is such a boon to us and such a kick in the balls to them. Nashville, Tennessee, this is from the AP. Protesters chanted "blood on your hands" at Tennessee House Republicans on Tuesday after they passed a bill that would allow some teachers and staff to carry concealed handguns on public school grounds and bar parents and other teachers from knowing who was armed. Now, this is the funny part about this to me. The left says that you can talk about birth control, you can talk about abortion, you can talk about contraception, you can talk about transgenderism, you can talk about changing sex, you can talk about any of these things. Parents never need to know. You talk about guns protecting children, oh my God, the horror. The contrast is pretty stark. Anyway, let's keep going. The 68-28 vote in favor, not even close, bill sent to Republican Governor Bill Lee for consideration. If he signs into law, it would be the biggest expansion of gun access in the state since last year's deadly shooting in Nashville. We've covered this. We covered this as it went forward. We held the line, and now we're pushing in the opposite direction. Stay the course, guys. The fight that we're in is going to end up in the positive if we stay active. We can make the difference. You're seeing it across the nation. The only place the gun controllers are winning is in the far left blue bastions, of which they already had the wins anyway. They're just reinforcing. The rest of the states are going towards freedom. Now, check this out, because it boggles the mind, people. Because gun controllers want all of the things I'm about to show you across the board that they just gave them in the armed carrying of for teachers, and it's still not good enough. Check this out. Under the bill passed Tuesday, a worker who wants to carry a handgun would need to have a handgun carry permit and written authorization from the school's principal and local law enforcement. So that's permit for licensure across the board. That's what they want. They would also need to clear a background check. That's what they want. And undergo 40 hours of handgun training. Mandatory training requirements. And they couldn't carry guns at school events, at stadiums, gymnasiums, or auditoriums. Quite literally the wet dream that the gun controllers tell us that they want across our entire nation, from mandated training, licensure to own, permission to own, and going through background checks. Not good enough in this case. This is enough to set up camp on this whole video. It shows you the left doesn't care. Their little talking points of everything that they want, they don't want them. They want guns gone. I just showed you exactly what they want consistently. Beat us over the head with a cudgel on. They get it. It's not good enough. Just saying, the contrast again is stark. But now, let me show you some more evidence here of what they tell you is going to happen, but hasn't. About half of the U.S. states in some form allow teachers or other employees with concealed carry permits to carry guns on school property, according to Giffords Law Center, a gun control advocacy group. Half the states? Well, wait a minute. I thought this was a novel idea that would never happen anywhere else. Like Iowa, they were freaking out about. Tennessee, they were freaking out about. You're telling me half the states, 25 states also do it, but there's been no teachers popping off and just killing students. There's no one been killed by a negligent discharge. What What are we talking about? It just also so happens to coincide with a little slightly less number of states that have constitutional carry. Again, crimes go down in those states. I'm kind of failing to see the point where they're really landing their plane. We're winning because everything's on our side. The Constitution, the evidence, the support, the states, the local governments. We have it all. But they are sure putting up a big old fight for it because Tennessee 3 has faded, as I mentioned, and they are losing power because it does not work. Now, this is the part that I want to wrap up with because this is really what it's all about. This is the entire point. Quote, what you're doing is you're creating a deterrent, the bill's sponsor, Republican State Representative Ryan Williams, said before the vote. Across our state, we have had challenges as it relates to shootings. Republicans rejected a series of Democratic amendments, including parental consent requirements, poison pill, notification when someone's armed, poison pill, and the school district assuming civil liability for any injury, damage, or death due to staff carrying guns, poison pill. They just want to sue them out of existence. But again, I want to reiterate something that's really important to understand. They have told us this is all that they want. The person to carry a handgun would need to have a handgun carry permit to license own, written authorization from the school's principal, license to own, and local law enforcement, license to own. They would also need to clear a background check, universal background checks, and undergo 40 hours of handgun training, mandatory handgun training requirements. Everything that they tell you they want is not good enough, and that's the takeaway. It's not about safety. It's not about doing common sense because the common sense things they advocate for are right here in this bill, but they're raging. Blood's on their hands. It's damning by itself. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.